Hello, welcome to the presentation of the new group feature in BoothMate. This feature has been designed for the needs of organizations working with interpreters on a regular or temporary basis, but it can be used, of course, by any group of interpreters. A group has its own database, glossaries, and quota, and has advanced sharing capabilities. Group members can have access to just a few glossaries with viewing rights, for example, or to the full group database with viewing and editing rights. And an organization, in addition to providing access to the group's database or glossaries, can provide a full professional subscription to some members so that they have their own glossaries and database paid by the organization. So let's dive in and create our first group. For this presentation, I'm going to use demo accounts based on the popular TV show The Office. So here I'm on Dwight Schrute's dashboard. In the left column, you can see a group's menu item. And you can see a new group button. Let's click. I'm gonna name it Dunder Mifflin Inc. For short name, I could use DM, but I'll use Dunder Mifflin because it's short enough. Choose it wisely because you won't be able to change it later. You'll see the short name in the URL, in the menu, and in the navigation breadcrumb. Name and description can be changed later, but not the short name. And for the description, I will use Paper Company. Now I'm on the group's page. You could also call it the group's dashboard. You can see Dunder Mifflin in the URL. Here you can see the group's quota usage. Users of BoothMate will be able to create groups, but the free group version has a very limited quota. With those buttons, you can access the group's glossaries, database, but as you can see, everything is empty. The members button shows you the group members. This is Dwight. When you create a group, you're automatically a super admin and a guest of this group. So what does that mean? There are four main levels of group members. Super admins, who have full permission on all group's resources, and they can modify the group name, delete the group, subscribe to a paying plan for the group. They also define who is an admin, but they can't remove themselves from super admins. Only another super admin can remove a super admin. Admins. Admins, they can manage other members, define their permissions on resources like glossaries and the database. Guests. Guests are group members who can be given editing rights on the group resources, like glossaries and the database. By default, one guest is included in a group, but if you need to give editing rights to your group members, note that this is a paying feature. We have also what is called a super guest. A super guest is like a regular guest, but he also gets a full professional subscription provided and managed by the group. This subscription is personal to the super guest. The group has no authorization on it to its resources. But the group starts and stops this subscription. It manages it. And at last, there is the regular member of a group who only gets access to the group resources defined by admins in viewing rights. Please watch the video dedicated to this subject to learn more. I will link it to the show notes. Okay, now the first thing I would recommend after creating a group, just like for a personal account, would be to create some database columns. I recommend using languages if you know that the content will be in a specific language. This is an important metadata for the app. With this information, the app can do a better job sorting, for example. Of course, for French, you could write français here if you prefer. Now let's create a glossary. These are the columns that exist in the database. You don't have to use them, and you can add other columns later if you want. So now I have created the glossary paper industry in the Dunder Mifflin group. You can see this in the navigation breadcrumb. It is a bit different than when it's created in a personal account. You have a specific icon when it's a group glossary, and there is no concept of public glossaries for groups, at least for now. I'm gonna check in the legacy website if I can find a public glossary about paper. I think I will take this one. Now let's import this file. We're going to save the file. Now that it's imported, I will remove this entry. If I go to the group's dashboard, I can see that the quota usage has been updated. Same for the storage, because I saved the file. This shows the recent activity, the last 5 glossaries created and updated. And we can see that entries are also here in the database. You could also copy this glossary to Dwight's account or to a different group, or duplicate this glossary in the Dunder Mifflin's group. I'm not going to do it now. In the next video, I'll add some members and subscribe to the organization plan, which is the paying version of a group. See you there.